Hello, hola, welcome to Rena MoMoney Plus video. I'm your girl, Rena MoMoney, and today I have a good one. We're going to talk about 5 tips you need to know before renting out houses. So, come on in. On this channel, we talk about being a profitable landlord and being a great wholesaler. We also talk about blowing up your wholesale business. So make sure you go through the channel. There's some great videos that can help you crush it in this real estate. We're going to make this short and sweet. I have 5 tips to help you out, things that you should know before you start renting out houses, before you become a landlord. The first thing you should know, number 1, keeping reserve money. You need to have reserve money for several reasons. 1, when that tenant moves out, you need to be able to go in and replace things or repair things. You need to be able to have that money if they trash the place. Now, not all tenants trash the place. There's tenants that will stay 4, 5, 6, 8, 15 years, and they will keep up the property because they live there. And one way to kind of ensure that is to screen your tenants. So make sure that you screen your tenants, and it kind of helps. And we talk about that. We talk about that on a previous video on how to be how to not lose money, how to be a profitable landlord. So the number 1 thing you need to know is to make sure that you're keeping some reserve money. You want to keep reserve money for repairs. You want to keep reserve money for the vacancies. So you must have money when things break. The second thing is renting to family and friends. It's a tip you actually need to write down if you haven't. Be aware of that. What happens is over time, your family and your friends know that that's what you do. You're a landlord. You have properties. Renting to family and friends, it has pros and cons, and I don't want to get too deep into that one, but keep this in mind. Here's a tip. One thing about it, family and friends, they'll start to know that this is what you do after 2, 3, 4, even maybe 5 years, or after your 5th or 6th, or they see that you're doing pretty good and you have a nice income from renting out properties, and you keep up your properties because you've gotten to the stage now you don't have bad properties, or you're not a slumlord. Yes, they will come to you. I would say this, so that we won't get too deep. Make sure you have the same criteria across the board, whether it's family, friends, stranger, long time, whatever. Make sure you screen everyone regardless of who they are, how long they've known you. Make sure you screen. If they qualify, they qualify. Because keep in mind, this is a business. This is your future wealth. This is what you want. This is your money maker. This is what you're doing to build for your legacy. So it's a business. It's not a friend thing. It's not a family thing. It's not a bloodline thing. It's a business. So if that family member has the income and have all your expectations and criteria met, okay, fine, so be it. If you have that thing where you say, okay, well, everybody knows that I'm pretty nice and I don't want to cross that line, then don't. If everybody knows that you're pretty firm, you don't play, you understand there's a business, you understand there's a time and a place for everything, then, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. So that's a gray area there, and it depends on you how you want to cross it. I would say what I do is I screen no matter what. If I have a family member or friend that comes to me and they're in need, a desperate need, they still have to have that minimum criteria. I tell them up front, I will evict you. So a lot of times they'll turn the other way. And if you pay attention, a lot of times the family that comes to you, 9 times out of 10, they need a favor. Not all need a favor. So I don't want to bash family and friends. And I don't want to say this is a tip to tell you do not rent to family and friends. What I'm saying is to make sure that you have the same criteria, the same expectation, whether they are family or friend. The next thing you need to know before renting out a home, or that you want to pay close attention to, is taking worration calls. On this tip, I would basically say outsource what you don't like, so that being a landlord would not be a drag. That's a tip, because if you don't, then it becomes a drag, it becomes a burden, and you just won't like it. But if you outsource what you already know you don't like, if you don't like the calls, have someone handling all your calls from tenants. Get an assistant. Have some things that here's what the assistant does. Get a property manager. Have some things. Once a property manager, they'll take care of everything. But if you're not at that stage yet, before you start renting, if you're not the type of person that want to take these calls, if you're not the person that you already know that you can't do a thing about plumbing, have a plumber in place. Have that on your contact list for your tenants and or your assistants, so that if when they get the calls, you can handle it. That will make you feel better. It will take off a lot of pressure. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy being a landlord a little bit more. That passive income that comes in every month, it won't come with a huge rotation. So the tip before starting to rent out houses, determine who you are for real. I said that on a previous video. Determine who you are and what you want to do on a daily basis. Before we go into the next tip, you know what I like to do? I like to give my shout outs. So take a look here. Here's my shout outs. I want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much. Congratulate yourself coming on here. You're a beginner. Celebrate that, because you just clicked on this button to educate yourself. And that's one of the things I always reiterate. Educate yourself. And you're doing a great job by starting with the Rena MoMoney Plus channel. I have a lot of videos for you to look at, a lot of free valuable information. So be sure to go down the channel and take a look at some of these tips and tools, ways to save you money and make you money on being a wholesaler or a landlord. Also, I got some resources. So if you're starting out and you say, I'm jumping in, I just need that edge, I need that help, look down below in the resources. I got some resources for you. I also do coaching calls. So if you need that extra help, make sure you schedule a coaching call with me. I've been doing real estate since 2003. I'm pretty well versed here. So use this knowledge. Schedule a coaching call. The fourth tip you should know about renting out houses, or before renting out houses, is every house is not meant to be a rental. You need to learn and know when to sell and when to rent out. So every house is not a rental. Also, as you're looking around to invest, or if someone calls you with a deal and it's in an area that you're not comfortable with, you don't want to buy a house, no matter how good the deal is, if it's not a rentable area. If no one wants to stay there, if it's next door to the crack house or across the street from the hoe house. So be mindful of that. Every house is not meant for you. You're an investor. You're in this to make money. You want it to turn. You don't want it every 3 months someone's moving out. That's costing you money. That's not a good investment. So some deals you have to turn away from and walk away from as a rental. So know when it should be a rental. At the same time, you should know when it's a property you need to sell. You should know if there's room in there. You should understand and learn about that equity and know if this is a good selling property. So learn about if it's a good selling property, if it's a good rental property, or you should not invest in it at all. So before you get into renting properties, know if you should buy that house. My last tip on what you should know before renting out houses is how to save money on the rehab, how to save money on the repairs, how to save money when you turn it over. Here's a few tips. If it's a rental, you don't need the top quality, but you want middle quality. You don't want low quality because it'll tear up. Another thing is always door stoppers. You want to get good quality door stoppers. They don't cost that much. It'll prevent holes. It'll prevent you from having your repairman have to redo the sheetrock. Invest in door stoppers. That's a tip for landlords across the world. Make sure that one of the first things you inspect and make sure you put in there before you rent it out is having door stoppers. Another tip on how to save on materials, or how you can create that money and save money, and how to save money with rehabbing your rentals. Purchase Oops paint. Purchase Oops paint. Purchase Oops paint. Oops paint is the paint that they've mixed all up and someone returned it back at Home Depot or Lowe's or from Sherman-Williams or from whatever store you buy your paint, or from whatever your paint person place is. Purchase Oops paint and mix it all up and then label it for that address. So if you just need to do touch up, you'll have the same paint. More than likely, if you have good tenants and you've learned to screen, so you've learned this stuff, you learned how to get good tenants from the Rena MoMoney channel on other previous videos. 9 times out of 10, all you will need to do is touch up once that tenant leaves. Now, if you get a nasty one and it happens, you can't predict that. You may have to go and repaint the whole thing. Purchase Oops paint. You can pay 50% on paint if you purchase Oops paint. Oops. Go into Home Depot early in the morning. Nice tip. Go in Lowe's early in the morning. They got 5-gallon paint, 50% off. Where they've colored it. It has tint in it and color in it, but you want to get all pastel colors. You want to get colors that are universal. Another great tip with these materials, as you're saving your money, that you should know before you rent out, before you start renting out houses, don't buy cheap blinds. Blinds are easy to mess up. Last tip and tool on that rehab is purchase stainless steel appliances if you provide appliances, and or if you have a house that you're going to eventually sell soon. So If you're selling a house, stainless steel appliances. If you're renting a house that you are going to provide the appliances, stainless steel. Stainless steel. That's what I got for you. Hope these tips help. I got some more great stuff coming up, so you make sure you subscribe. Subscribe now. Be ready and stay tuned. Always stay to the end, because I'm giving nothing but free, valuable information that can help you out, save you money in real estate, and help you crush it. If you need some extra help, be sure to schedule a coaching call with me if need be. Look down in the description below and you'll see the link. I also have some more links. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for coming, and you take care.